Hey Reddit, I'm in a bit of a pickle and could really use your advice on how to handle a really awkward situation with my boyfriend. We've been together for about 2 years, and he recently moved into my apartment. For the most part, everything has been great, until I started noticing some strange issues with the shower drain. After he moved in, I noticed that the shower drain was clogging much faster than it ever had before. At first, I thought it might just be a faster buildup of hair or soap scum, since we're now 2 people sharing the shower, so I didn't think much of it. But one day, while he was at work and I was home alone, I decided to do a thorough cleaning of the entire apartment. When I got to the shower, I took off the drain grate, expecting to find a mess of hair. What I found was something entirely different, and downright disgusting. And the smell immediately hit me, and was unmistakable. Along with a bunch of hair, there were large pieces that looked like human feces stuck to it. What convinced me that I had actually pulled poop from the shower drain was that, in order to confirm my suspicion, I used a knife to mush the lump and discovered seeds, corn, and other unidentifiable bits inside of it. Not to mention that the smell seemed to multiply as I mushed it. I was horrified. At first, I thought, what if the poop had floated up from the sewers, through the pipes, and then somehow had ended up in my shower drain? But then I thought, that is impossible, and I've never had this kind of issue before, so it was pretty clear to me that it had to be him. Now I'm in a dilemma. I really want to bring this up with him, but I'm not sure how to approach it without making things super awkward and embarrassing for both of us. I care about him, and I don't want to hurt his feelings or make him feel ashamed, but at the same time, I can't just ignore it. This is a hygiene issue, and I need to address it. I also looked up the risks of pooping in the shower. Hygiene concerns, of course, bacterial infections, clogged drains, odor issues, etc. Probably. First of all, has anyone dealt with something similar? Maybe it's more common than I think IDK. How do I even start this conversation? I'm worried about his reaction and how it could affect our relationship. Any tips on how to handle this without turning it into a huge mess would be super helpful. Edit. I appreciate the advice, and we'll have a talk with him when he comes home from work. Edit. 2. Perhaps I'm too forgiving. Don't get me wrong, I'm utterly repulsed. But this man is also the love of my life. And believe it or not, he's much more than someone who shits in the shower. Melol. Anyway, I hope this is something we can do eventually laugh about and move on from. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt. Perhaps it was normalized in his upbringing, and he just needs someone to tell him otherwise. IDK? Or perhaps he has some issues with his bowels and have been too embarrassed to tell me. Either way, I won't allow him to use my shower as a bathroom anymore. Number 1 is fine, I guess. Number 2 is dramatically overstepping my boundaries. Let's hope our conversation goes well. Edit 3. I get that people want me to just step up and say it straight to his face as it is. Don't poop in my shower. In every other situation, I most likely would have. This has utterly stomped me, to the point where I actually don't know how to approach this. I know that you all don't know him, and right now you all only identify him as shower poop guy or whatever, but that's not who I know. He's caring and treats other people well. He's funny and smart and interesting, and I genuinely think he's a good person. This is someone whom I imagined I'd start a family with and live a long life together with. Hence why I'm perhaps so willing to hear him out. I think that's what love is. The willingness to try and understand where your loved ones are coming from, to understand their thought process and reasoning behind their actions, words. We all do stupid shit every now and then, and I think for the most part, forgiveness should be granted if you learn from your dumb decisions, depending on the severity. I don't think he has any ill intentions. This is literally the only thing that has made me question our relationship in the span of 2 years. So, yeah, I am going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Update. I'll invest the energy I wasted during my studies and use what I learned in my creative writing courses to provide a dramatic account of this evening's events. We stood in the dim bathroom, both perplexed, the air thick with tension. I had only glimpsed the problem, sensing something more bewildering beneath the surface. It all began with a misunderstanding that spiraled into chaos. My boyfriend believed I was responsible for a troubling situation in our shower. With apprehension, I decided to confront him. We needed to tackle this together. As he walked in after his shift, I blurted out, "Have you pooped in the shower? I'm not judging. I just want to understand why." The words hung heavy and I saw horror on his face. It felt like I had caught the guilty bastard. But then, to my disbelief, he said, "What do you mean? You're the one who's been massacring the shower for weeks." My mind raced and I could only manage a stunned, "What?" It turned out my boyfriend had been rinsing the shower tiles every morning, scrubbing away what he thought were my late-night indiscretions. He had kept this secret to spare my feelings. "But you're the shower-pooping culprit?" I gasped, confusion washing over me. The revelation spun in my mind as I struggled to grasp the situation. For a moment, we stared at each other, our minds racing. If it isn't us, then who is it? Slut. I plan to contact the managing agent first thing in the morning to hopefully identify the issue with our shower drain. We're both feeling exhausted but beyond relieved that neither of us has a shower-pooping partner. I'll keep you posted. Update 2. So I spoke with management this morning and they are sending someone to come check the pipes, drain, and toilet later today. I really don't think it's my boyfriend. I can't for the life of me imagine that he'd go to this extent. I've known him for years, and we've been dating for the past 2 years. Some of you seem to think I'm in denial, but IR just seems too far-fetched at this point to be true. It's hard to believe, I think. Oddly enough, it's been reassuring to hear that some of you have had similar things happening to you, and that it turned out to be a plumbing issue. So I'm setting my bets on that for now. Maybe it's just a recently occurring issue. I've also spoken to my downstairs neighbor who told me he had been experiencing similar issues, but management had yet to do something about it. And that just seems to confirm my suspicions to me. Also, my boyfriend and I have been bawling our eyes out laughing at your comments. Lowell, this is just absolutely absurd.